What's your family's most famous recipe? How to be a good wife by age 13. You see, in my family, male relatives got to claim female cousins as future wives the day we were born. We called it securing the bloodline, and I genuinely thought every family did this until I was 11, and mentioned my Uncle Kenji was my future husband to a classmate. Her face went white. That's illegal, she whispered, and gross. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. The rules were simple. Any girl born into the family belonged to whichever uncle claimed her first. My Uncle Kenji claimed me 6 hours after birth. My cousin Ayumi belonged to her Uncle Toshiro since she was 2 days old. My sister Yuki was promised to Uncle Hiroshi before mom even left the hospital. The men would celebrate each claiming with expensive cigars and aged whiskey, toasting to another successful investment. When you turned 13, the grooming visits started. Uncle Kenji would pick me up every Sunday for training. I learned which sake he preferred, how many degrees cold, the exact serving angle, how to massage his shoulders after work, which perfume made him happy. If I messed up, I'd have to stand in the corner holding heavy books until my arms shook. How will you be a good wife if you can't even remember simple things? He'd ask. Sometimes he'd make me practice walking in the wedding shoes he'd already bought, size 6. I was still a size 4. Ayumi turned 16 first. I watched her commitment ceremony. That's when the claiming became official and you moved into your uncle's house. She wore white lace while Uncle Toshiro, 53 with 2 dead wives already, slipped his original claiming ring from her baby years onto her adult finger. She threw up twice during the vows. They said it was nerves. Normal bride stuff. Her parents sat in the front row, counting the cash envelope they'd received for raising her well. 2 months later, Ayumi was in the hospital with kidney problems. 3 months after that, she was dead. They said she was too weak for childbearing. Uncle Toshiro was already browsing the family registry for his next claim by the funeral. I heard him tell my father he preferred younger ones next time. They last longer, he said. But my little cousin Emmy was different. She had what the family called outside exposure. Her mom had accidentally enrolled her in public school instead of our family's homeschool network. At age 10, she'd ask things like, why can't I pick my own husband? And what if I don't want to marry anyone? She'd sneak library books about women's rights into family gatherings, hiding them under her traditional dress. Emmy got pulled from school after that. They started her grooming visits early to fix her thinking. Uncle Akira took her to his cabin every weekend for intensive training. When she came back, she had bruises she wasn't allowed to talk about. Once, she tried to show me finger-shaped marks on her arms. Her mother slapped her and said, good wives don't complain. Everything changed when I was 15, and Emmy, now 12, didn't come back from a weekend visit. Uncle Akira said she was being difficult and needed extended training. 2 weeks passed, then 3, then a month. Here's the sick part. We were living in suburban Michigan the whole time. Normal suburb, normal families all around us. My parents told us other families just didn't understand the importance of keeping wealth in the bloodline. They let their daughters marry strangers who dilute everything, my mother would say. Americans are too soft. They've forgotten the old ways that keep families strong. Emmy had been gone 6 weeks when her public school teacher, Ms. Tanaka, showed up at our door. She'd been trying to check on her former student. My parents smiled sweetly. Oh, Emmy's visiting relatives out of state, they lied. But Ms. Tanaka had already called the police about a missing child. When they found Emmy locked in Uncle Akira's cabin basement, she weighed 68 pounds. She'd been kept in a dog crate for refusing to accept her future. The police said she had infected wounds from trying to claw her way out. Her fingernails were gone. She'd lost them scratching at the metal bars. Within 3 hours, FBI agents were seizing our family registry. 5 centuries of claiming records, photos of commitment ceremonies with girls in white dresses and uncles old enough to be grandfathers, death certificates of wives who never made it past 25. 17 family members got arrested that day. My Uncle Kenji tried to grab me as they cuffed him, screaming that I belonged to him, that he had the papers to prove it. We thought it was over. The girls were safe. The uncles were in custody. I was wrong, because 3 weeks later, I got a call from the prosecutor. The judge just threw out all the charges, she said, her voice shaking. Insufficient evidence. They're being released tomorrow. Then I noticed it. The small scar on her wrist, the same marking all the claimed wives had after their ceremonies. Full story on channel, link below.